Alright. So these are the alleged so-called brokest niggas in fiction by Not Lorente.
Have you ever checked your bank account and thought, man, I'm back in the negatives? And not for the first time as well.
Not me every day. Every day. Tight shit, tight shit.
I think we can all agree that we need money, cash, dinero to do practically anything in this world, let alone survive. But unfortunately, not everyone has access to generational wealth. Most of us are broke. However, today I'm gonna be shedding
It's okay, bro. We gonna build the foundation ourselves. Trust.
light on characters who were broker than you and I. Characters that couldn't keep the lights on. Characters that couldn't buy anything besides bread. Characters like Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I want to begin by saying I have nothing against Peter Parker. As a matter of fact, I loved Spider-Man growing up. However, I think we can
Love Spider-Man, but he be doing this shit for free, bro. That could not be me, man.
all agree that he is indeed a broke-ass nigga. In particular, Spider-Man 2 and 3. I mean, he was literally running from the rent man because anytime
How do you say it like that, bro?
Mr. Dickovich saw him, all he heard was
Rent!
he caught Peter with bread
Turn up.
one time and took it with no hesitation. And that was
Bro. Bro, you know he hear that shit, bro. He get flashbacks, bro. That shit remind him. That shit like that shit like the helicopter thing for Vietnam veterans, bro. He hear rent, he go
his
crazy.
birthday money
That's the equivalent of hearing it's not working to DB Legends niggas.
as well. I would have been seeing red if that was me. Because do you know how expensive New York is? Peter was working 2 jobs and still struggled to stay afloat. Alright, so he was working 1 job. I have to give Peter his ratings though. He was
Damn.
truly a hero for the love of the game. Because if I was him, there is no way I'm gonna be a superhero and broke. I'm sorry. These are mutually exclusive events. You think
Everywhere I go as Spider-Man, bro, I'm tagging my QR code on the fucking wall. I'm webbing that shit up. I'm saying, donate to your boy, please. Like, I am literally saving lives. Donate to your boy, please, bro. There's no way. If Spider-Man was just a streamer, like, he ain't gotta be Peter Parker. Nothing. He get on stream once, bro. He go run up the subs. He gonna run up the gifts. He gonna run up the. Bro, he gonna make mad bread. And if you drop a QR code, you already know people gonna donate to that shit, bro.
I'm gonna be out
That's
here
our
saving the people
hero.
of New York doing better work than the police force for free? Miss me with that. Someone better send me that check, otherwise I'ma turn into a problem. And that is why I can never become a hero.
That's
For those who have
nah, a nigga like me would become a villain if I wasn't getting that bread. Come
a
on.
good memory of Spider-Man 2, you might recall the scene where Doc Ock was robbing the bank and was literally giving Peter the bag. And I'm over here thinking, bro, you need that. You have 2 outfits in your closet. Go get your dripper. Or more importantly, go get a nicer place that comes with a bigger bed because I know you brought no baddies to this crib. Like I said, no baddies. I still can't believe he went and
Some people ain't gonna like that one.
bought MJ a ring. Ugh. And he had to corner it as well. The shopkeeper really put that option on display as soon as he saw Peter. Bro must have felt the poverty from a mile away. It may be a different movie, but Peter was still dodging rent like Rod Wave dodging salads. Mr. Dickovich tried to ask for the payment one time, but came across a black Peter. And guys know he was always on timing, in more ways than one.
Am.
Incredible.
There is no way I can do a video about being broke and not include everyone from Squid Game.
Yup.
Everyone here was suffering from crippling debt. The masked men started bailing out people and I was hearing some crazy numbers being thrown up. This guy had a debt of over $1 billion, which is like 700k. And that leads me to ask 2 questions. Who is lending you such copious amounts of bread? And how are you losing all of it? I know some
Gambling is a skill. Gambling is a skill because really you gotta think about the kind of credit niggas gotta build in order to be able to take out all this money. I mean, it's loan sharks, of course, but still, what kind of loan shark in their right fucking mind is giving a nigga this much bread?
of these people
Gambling is
definitely
a
got
skill.
scammed. Imagine having to go on Squid Game because you got set up by Jane, who lives 1 mile away. I think I would cry for a week. Although Keon's debt wasn't as wild as $1 billion, it's definitely still up there. He owed money to the bank and worst of all, loan sharks. The situation got so bad that he was forced to sign away his physical rights. And what that means is, if he's unable to pay them on the next installment, they were allowed to sell his organs. And it doesn't help his case that he's also got a gambling addiction. Loans plus gambling equals hardship. This is a well-known equation. He didn't have the means to gamble, nor was he able.
I promise you, that shit probably scary in a moment, but there's no fucking way loan sharks are operable at all in any facet in society, bro. In what world are you gonna bring that piece of paper with someone's bloody fingerprint on the thing to a judge and tell him, yeah, I get to sell his fucking organs now because you didn't pay me back money? That's not how that shit. That's not how that works.
able to borrow more money. So he went the extra mile and used his mom's credit card for the parlays. And it wasn't like he was
Nah, give him scummy for
betting
that
on
though.
basketball or football games. Bro stole the card so that he could bet on horses. This is like 90% chance, and I would know because I've done it myself. No, my mom's credit card, of course. That's insane. Kihun was so brass that he couldn't even get his daughter fried chicken on her birthday. Hashtag worst father in fiction. If you know the lore behind Squid Game, then you may have heard of a show called I won't speak about it
I have
too
not.
much because I intend to do a video on it at some point in the future, but just know that a lot of inspiration was taken from it when creating Squid Game. The anime follows the life of a bum called Kaiji, who similar to Kian had a gambling addiction, and just like all bad gamblers, he's in debt. But so am I. Let me tell you something real quick.
There's no such thing as a good gambler. I promise you that. I mean, that like respectfully, that shit is a skill up to the point where you get the money. Once you get to the point where you're spending the money, it's no longer a skill, nigga. You're
University is the
slut.
greatest scam to ever exist, but guys aren't ready for that conversation yet. Trust me. The main difference between this bozo and Kian is that he co-signed the debt of one of his co-workers.
University literally a scam depending on what you're trying to do, bro. If you're trying to become a doctor, please go to university. Do not operate on me without having a degree. Please go to school.
Because when you look at this from one perspective, you might think, oh, how generous. But no, how stupid. He barely knew the guy at the time, and now he has to pay the Yakuza millions of yen for a debt that wasn't even his. But just like Squid Game, he gets given a chance to clear it and then some by playing a series of games. I don't know what's with these guys in gambling. When the fun stops, stop. The only gambling I've ever done was FIFA packs, and was it worth it? 1000%. I mean, I never got anything good. Well, apart from that one time. But that's neither here nor there. The next person I have on this list is someone who was truly stuck in the mud. And
Nah, I'm a pretty in debt gambler, but only to gacha games, bro. Only to anime gacha games.
his name is... And just like the character that came before him,
Oh,
Denji's also in debt to the Yakuza.
yo, this nigga, bro. Nah, I need y'all to look me in my eyes and lock in. This nigga had to sell his testicle, bro. We will never be this down bad, and we should thank God we will never be this down bad, bro. We should thank God these are only the words of a nigga that is written into a manga that is in fiction. Because imagine meeting someone so broke that their ideal meal is toast with jam. Like that's life changing for them. He had to sell his fucking test, bro. Bro,
No
God forbid,
surprise
gang.
there. But it's not even his fault. Like, he's just a product of a sad backstory. His
Nah, bro, and he inherited the debt too. It's not even in his debt, bro. Nah, yeah, this shit brings a tear to my eye. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Nah, it's
mother died of
crazy.
a heart illness, and his dad, in the most PG way possible, turned into hangman. And as a parting gift, left him with a debt of 38 million yen. Denji was just a kid at the time. Where's he meant to get that type of money from? He ends up getting contracted to work for the Yakuza as a means to clear the amount. But for every job he did, they taxed him like crazy, to the point where he was having one slice of bread as his only meal for the day. Desperate times call for desperate measures because Denji sold his right eye, his kidney, and one of his nuts. I know you can buy and sell pretty much anything and everything on the black market, but who the flip is buying a singular nut? And if so, why? Actually, I take that back. I don't want to know why. It's evident that Denji was going through it for years, and yet he never even asked for much. All he ever wanted was a normal life, a life that consisted of a house rather than a shack, a life where he didn't have to imagine what jam and bread tastes like, a life that may even include a girlfriend. Unlike all the other characters I've mentioned, Denji's situation is different because it wasn't due to a gambling addiction or extortionate city living. It was purely circumstantial, just like reading or watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory almost felt like a mandate growing up in the UK. However, Roald Dahl was a very good author, so no complaints from me. Charlie Bucket is a child born into poverty. He lived with his mom, dad, and all his grandparents in the house.
Yeah, I feel like this ain't even out of the stretch of reality though. When you got your parents all living under the same house in the same area, and only the dad is working. And yeah, now there's some shit that definitely happened in like rural England in the
House that
1700s,
is
bro.
one, incomplete. Charlie slept on the top floor of the gaff and the floor wasn't even finished. Number two, this place is literally leaning. Just look at the door. How is that even possible? Life at the Bucket residence sucked. Charlie's dad probably had it the worst because he was doing graveyard shifts at a toothpaste factory just to come home to a wife that cooked nothing but cabbage water. Like, when are we gonna have chicken?
Bro, no, wait, no, no, bro. Oh
Something. And the
no.
description of their home life is 10 times worse than the book because they were only allowed seconds on Sundays. Bearing in mind, they still had
What kind of poverty, bro? What kind of? I'm starting to believe that even the niggas in rural England might have had better, bro. Cabbage water? You're telling me your wife is a stay-at-home wife, and the only thing she's cooking is cabbage water?
cabbage water on Sundays, but they were just allowed more of it then. The book also mentions that everyone in the gaff had to save up for a whole year just to buy Charlie a chocolate bar for his birthday, which he then saved over the course
Shit is like a fucking dollar, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is poverty. This is truly being
of a
poor.
month. That means he was having 1/30th of the bar every day. At that point, are you even enjoying it? I'm sure we are all somewhat clued up on the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but as usual, I'm always through it regardless. Charlie finds money on the floor, buys a Wonka bar, and uncovers the last golden ticket, and the rest was history. Him and 4 other brats go on a tour through Mr. Woody's factory, but one by one they succumb to their human nature: gluttony, pride, greed, and wrath. At the end of it all, Charlie
Mm,
was the last one left, and as a reward, Wonka gave him the entire chocolate factory. And mark my words when I say this come up was glorious, just like that OG
legendary rags to riches story, bro.
soundtrack.
Yo,
Yeah, that's the good stuff. From
this
cabbage
shit
water
is
and
this shit
slanted
is
houses to
beautiful,
owning a
bro.
chocolate empire.
Yeah,
Dreams really
nah.
do come true. I'm gonna have to
OG Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the shit, bro. That's the one. That's the one, bro. That's the one. Come on, bro. Fucking,
change the
I love
title of
this
the video
movie.
because some of these guys
The
actually got
soundtrack,
a come
bro.
up.
What is blessing
As
my
you already
ears
know,
right now?
Mr. 456 won the Squid Game, dyed his hair, cut his hair, and went back for round 2. He's a better man than me because I would have said Gabos and gone to Mykonos. Then he massacred the Yakuza members that he was in debt to and got that normal life he always wanted. Kind of. And Kaiji, well, he went from being in debt to rich back to broke, so I guess it's a win. Peter never got a come up in the Sam Raimi trilogy, but I'm sure there's a rich
No, no. Well, spoiler alert: Spider-Man doesn't ever fucking win. They hate Spider-Man. But that's this video, bro. These are the brokest niggas in fiction. That's so funny. Uh, take care, stay blessed.